Tasmania show, yeah.
Wagwan gang, back in this thing. And if you really gang, bang that like button. If you love Tazzy's baddies like I do, all flavors, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, get your hoodie. You know we good in every hood. You can cop it directly right here on my YouTube channel. And today we are talking about Kanye West and his mental health. For those of you that do not know, I am a certified mental health advocate. I have lost 5 friends to suicide. It has been an interesting journey. I released an album in honor of my friend Sonia. Rest in peace, Sonia. Rest in peace, Sunshine. I've made an album called Mentally Ill. I have a couple of records out that y'all can go check out, Damaged Goods, because I didn't see the signs. And I think that as time has progressed in society, like, you know, it's almost like what's wrong with them, especially in the Black community. It's like we chalk it up to what's wrong with them. They crazy. I have family members, you know, and as I've gotten more into the mental health industry over the past few years, I've just been able to identify. It's like when it comes to your mental health, where do you go to work out? When you want to work out your body, you go to the gym, right? It's like evident. You're driving down the street. Oh, there's a gym. Let me go to the gym to work out my body. But when it's time to work out your mind, there's not really practical tools that people can just easily access. Like someone may not be riding down the street and be like, well, how can I actually help my mental health doing this without having to go see a psychiatrist, a therapist, a psychologist? You have it, but there are a lot of different ways: silence, yoga, journaling, all different types of things. So I can't fault people for people not having a coach to help you navigate your thoughts. It's like our brain is the strongest muscle. So if we go to the gym and we go and lift, right, and we're trying to build our muscles, but we're not doing anything to build the brain muscle, what do you think it's gonna do? It's going to come up with so many different things. And I think that you have to identify your thoughts versus other people's thoughts. And I think that that's what Kanye has been experiencing, right? Like, you know, I think Albert Einstein had the quote, you know, if your genius is like you're borderline, like geniuses, people that are geniuses, if that's plural, however you say it, are borderline insane or borderline genius. I forgot, I'm butchering the quote. But it's basically like, you know, there's a fine line between genius and insanity. That's probably what it is. So sometimes we'll look at somebody doing something diabolical and be like, yo, I can't believe they did that, especially Kanye. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we go way back to the beginning, right, when Kanye was just a backpack polo rapper, Red October's just fly, different dude around the time coming around with making his music, you know what I'm saying, and giving it to street people, you know what I'm saying, like people from the streets. That wasn't Kanye's, you know, background, but he was very, very determined, you know, from the first album, College Dropout. I'm not sure if y'all have seen it yet, but the documentary that he released a couple years ago on Netflix was very, very beautiful. But recently, Kanye just took out an ad in the Wall Street Journal and he apologized. And in the ad, he said, he referenced a couple of things. He says, 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. The deeper injury went unnoticed. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. That medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. I lost touch with reality. Things got worse. The longer I ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. It does not excuse what I did, though. I am not a Nazi or anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. My words as a leader in my community have global impact and influence. In my mania, I lost complete sight of that. To the Black community, the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I am so sorry to those of you that I have let down. I love us. I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask you for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. I think that that's absolutely beautiful. Recently, I saw Kim K was on a podcast talking about what it's like to co-parent with Kanye, and you know, recently, and I think that over the years, like, we love Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Kanye will do something, go crazy. He'll go gospel. He'll do this. He'll do that. And then it's just like we've given him passes, like, but over time, it's like you have a responsibility as a leader. And there's some people that would drop and do everything. When he had people doing Sunday service in that era of Kanye, like, I didn't want to think that it was a facade, right? Because you don't want to play with God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever genre that you're in. I love gospel music. Yolanda Adams, Open My Heart, one of my favorite songs ever. But you can't play with your power because there's people that look up to you and follow you and would do anything, you know what I'm saying, for you. You know what I'm saying? Kanye has been a a pillar in the community, and I pray that with the kids that he has with with Kim, that over time it's like we gotta, I'm not saying make excuses for Kanye, but like the Black community, from what I know, really doesn't take it seriously, mental health. And I know in my family, when I was telling people in my family years ago about my struggles with mental health, or I was addressing it, it's not something that you want to be the pioneer to do. You know what I'm saying? But you can't heal what you don't reveal. And with Kanye being a wordsmith, being a lyricist, it's like he's been quiet for a minute. Kanye will pop out a couple different times. I think the last thing he said was that his cousin penetrated him. And I was like, yo, bro, like, whatever it was. And like I said, I'm not judging, but it's like it got to a point with Ye where it's like, are you doing this for attention? Do you really need help? And to see this ad that he took out in the Wall Street Journal, man, I'm praying for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for redemption. Everybody deserves forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got to coexist, you don't have to always deal with the people that you forgive, but I like the accountability, and I pray that it doesn't come with an antic or anything else. Like, we don't need to sell anything, buy anything, just listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are really going through things, and especially in this time, it's wicked, man. I lost 5 friends to suicide, and I did not see the signs. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see a cry for help, I try to make sure that I always give love and show love. Like, none of us are too big to forgive. How can we go outside every day and do crazy things and ask God to forgive us? I'm not saying that the world got to forgive Kanye, but I think that this is a step in the right direction. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all really think Kanye's apology in the Wall Street Journal was met with sincerity, or do you feel like it's just something because he got something dropping soon? If you really gang, bang that like button. You're tuning into the Tasmania Show with Taz Tycoon. Let's go.
Tycoon running up the score, Tazzy's baddies on the floor. And that ass is super fatty, call me Zaddy, throw some more. Super nasty, she a savage, slaughter fucker like a whore. Popping bottles, foreign models, Tycoon on the world tour. Shorty, what you bad for? Turn this to a hit-a-thon, damn. All your bitches bad, tell them they can come along.